Hi, I'm Josh. We'll be talking for Aaron today, who just had oral surgery and is having trouble talking for long periods of time without a lot of pain. So, Aaron's topic today was sexual violence, the awareness and systemic changes needed. Aaron's advocacy statement consists of sexual violence is a serious threat to our communities. Immediate response to the cases is necessary to further protect the women and children who are primary victims of these crimes. Citizens and the government should both carry a role to protect and support the victims. Heavier consequences for sex offenders are needed to be implemented to provide justice and lessons for whoever is planning or has completed such crimes. In 2018 alone, there are 734,630 estimated cases of attempted, completed, or threatened rape in the country per nsvrc.org, which is a trusted source. Meanwhile, the average sentence for sexual offenders in 2016 was only about 85 months and only 2.5 years longer than minor possession offenders. For the citizens, by getting everyone to participate in efforts in spreading knowledge and awareness to our communities through our modern resources, we can assure a better world for the targeted victims. Advocating social movements similar to the Me Too movement raises similar awarenesses by providing victims a voice and support to speak out. We all have the power to act against sexual violence. While the lawmakers should consider more serious consequences for offenders, we as citizens can raise support for awareness through movements and social platforms. Addressing this issue is important to significantly reduce the cases of sexual violence in the country. Survivors and targeted victims can be anyone from your friends or families. Support and protection are needed to fight against those sexual offenders. That can also be anybody that surrounds you. The issue we'll talk about today is cases of sexual crimes such as rape, sexual assault, and child molestation, which are increasing in our society. Interesting facts here that 1 in 5 women have been raped within their lifetime, 1 in 3 females experience sexual assault between ages 11 and 17, and 90% of victims are all women. This is a crazy statistic to look about and really puts it into perspective that often these women are most likely someone that you know or run into on a daily basis. Another interesting fact is that every 73 seconds an American is assaulted, and every 9 minutes that victim is a child. And this is such an alarming statistic. You think about your niece or little cousin or anything like that, every 9 minutes someone just like them is being assaulted. This is a big issue that needs to be addressed. Furthermore, over 60% of child victims remain silent because of their fear to their abuser. Now, oftentimes their abuser could be a family member, a close family friend, or someone who they think they can't speak out about because of possible repercussions to them. Drug incarceration on average has longer sentences for providing a wanted product or substance. Now, this is in comparison to sexual assault, which has a lesser sentence for actions that are not solicited by their victims. These actions also have major physical and emotional consequences to them. The average sentence for sex offenders in 2016 was only 85 months and only 2.5 years longer than possession offenders on a minor basis. Drug possession offenders serve an average of 5 to 10 years and 10 years to life for the major drug possession charges. An interesting diagram to the right shows Rochester's New York sexual crime cases. Only 12% were convicted on full charges, 65% were dismissed, and 23% were reduced. And this should be alarming to you because this 12% is not receiving the full charges that they deserve nor need. Now, what can we do as a community? Raising this awareness through social media is vital. By creating and spreading movements through media such as the Me Too movement, we give voices and support to the victims. We can also educate people through social media and touch every user's life by spreading sexual crime stories online. Often we see these Me Too movement posts or other sexual awareness posts which need to be looked at further, and we need to find a way to be able to attach to people's daily life further by having many people not skip through them, but rather take a look and place themselves in the victim's shoes. Sexual assault should be proactive and not reactive, and this starts by educating our children, which is the best prevention for sexual assault. We can empower and prepare them early to have ownership over their bodies, and also educate them to recognize that we own our own body and not other people's body from an early age. Set limits and boundaries for what feels right for them. Act with the appropriate behaviors which are not right. Speak out for themselves. Now, how can we influence the government to take action? Peacefully protesting is a big way to do this, by protesting for greater sentencing for sexual offenders, as well as signing petitions. Often we see a lot of petitions and peaceful protests going on today, which has a big influence on what we see on social media, what we see on the news, and what we see in government talk. And therefore, that if we make more of these peaceful protests and signing petitions more based on sexual violence and preventing sexual violence, then we can see possibly real change here. Sexual assault needs to be proactive versus reactive. Spreading awareness through our social platforms and pushing for societal change through educating our youth, as well as peaceful demonstrations, has the potential to lead to a decrease in sexual assault occurrences. A decrease in the number of lives deeply affected by sexual assault needs to be a common and high priority goal for individuals in society and government alike. It is up to each and every one of us to do our part in our daily lives to speak against sexual assault and stand up for what is right to prevent others from suffering.